Hello, good evening everybody, welcome along to the JACKOCAR Cup Series here for Season 4, Round 8 here at Monza. And yes, it is Throwback Week. We always love the Italy weekend for this very reason. It turns a slightly dull race into an absolute banger. We cannot wait for it. And here comes the unwet. With me is Jacko, and we are going to make Italy interesting.
Well, that's certainly the plan. The return of the Throwback Week. You know what? It is a tradition now. It's slowly turning into a fan favourite, don't you think?
I certainly enjoy it. But yeah, we've got some fantastic liveries. Good to have a full grid for today as well, so we can definitely see everyone's incredible designs. The only one we're not going to see, or actually no, we will get to see Matthews on track, of course, because he has to do his installation lap, but he is a quali ban red mat. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's just make sure we do that first.
Yeah, so obviously, as you say, quali ban for red mat for the race 1 incident last week in Hungary. You got Barry in for Thomas, Yuri in for Mike, that's MK Bourne, and Connor making his first start in a long time in the Cup Series. He's in for ST Mats. And then you got 16 full-time drivers in their championship order based on points, not playoff positions. Stage points not own, a lap 7, a lap 13.
Yep. 27 lap long race. We all know how it goes by now, and so hopefully, fingers crossed, we're in this lobby and the timer is correct, but we doubt
We'll
it.
see.
Now, formation lap, have we got that off this week?
Formation lap is off, and more importantly, Risky and Pete did this in Kia Series. You and I both have to choose a favourite from the list, from the cars we see tonight. And the 4 cars that are selected by all 4 commentators, they will be entered into a poll. And then the winner of said poll will then win £30 to go towards the F1 store.
What? You should have told me about this. I would have been racing on Tuesday.
And tonight.
And tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, there we go, there's Red Matt, our first entry tonight, but like I said, he is not going to be setting a lap. So we shall be enjoying his 2014 Caterham, the alien green and white car. And it must be said, I so wish that Aston Martin went with this shade of green, because it's much nicer than what Aston Martin actually went for. I love the Caterham liveries, and yeah, it's a very nice tribute to them. Maybe a little bit too bright, but I don't mind it.
It's nice. We've had quite a few Caterhams over the years. I know J. Luke was a specialist in recreating these. He's gone a different way tonight.
Yeah, he has.
You'll see that much later on.
Right, so we know that Red Matt isn't going to be doing his lap, so shall we go and see what Baz is up to? You'll see the pink, and that is for Racing Point, particularly the 2019 edition, the Sports Pesa Racing Point Formula 1 team. You'll notice the chrome blue on the back. A very decent recreation, actually, isn't it?
This does look very good, doesn't it? This, when I saw the Kia retweets coming through, this was one of my favourites instantly. Very good.
Onboard angle. This is a nice recreation.
It's a contender, dare I say, for one of our votes later on.
Absolutely, I'm liking it already, but he's got to keep it on the track as Baza. Because one thing with this livery template, I think, is that there's little red streaks on it, and there were always little bits of the Racing Point that always looked that reddish pink colour. So that means you can effectively get 5 or 6 colours into this thing. So he's choosing a really good template and a good livery to go with there. So that is good designing from Baza. I like it a lot, and the helmet to go with it, of course, as well. A very slick design. This is why we like these. Look at that. People can really get creative with it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why I say it's becoming a fan favourite week. People really do, more and more so as we do it now, put a lot of effort into these.
So here comes Baza then. He's going to start his lap.
There's a couple of cars I'd like to point out that are coming up that are going to be very good. Yuri's is one of them.
Oh,
and speaking of Yuri, we may as well join him now.
Yep.
And after that,
Ferrari.
I think it's actually 2004, so I got that wrong.
Well, they're
Yuri's, Jamie's. Anyway. Yeah, Yuri's and Jamie's we're looking forward to, and Risky. You'll see them in a bit. But with the sponsors though, in this F2004 looks spectacular, doesn't it? He's got the yellow sponsor to represent Shell. He's got the whites for Vodafone and stuff like that. I think he's done a great job.
But yeah, it's a nice livery. We're stuck on a halo angle at the minute, but you can see through other shots it is a decent looking car. From the front though, it almost looks like a 2009 Ferrari. That might just be me that gets that feeling from it. Not that I really want to complain, it's a very nice looking car anyway. And as Yuri heads round, he is not DCing, so he will be able to get a lap started at least. So let's see how he gets on down towards turn 1 for the first time. Quali will be quite important tonight, but then again, we always have these two-stop strategies. No one's a joker tonight, are they? Or
Yeah, we got 4 of them.
oh, good.
Do you want me to list them off?
Please do, because I haven't got any information on those.
Sorry. Hang on, bear with us. It was originally 5 jokers, but ST-Max pulled out earlier this morning. So that leaves us with 4. And those 4 are...
That's in the wall. And he's gone flying over the second curve at De La Rocha.
Still valid.
We've seen this before, but as you say, Jacko, it's still valid. And that's something that... It's a pretty much RNG, that corner. If you can hit it like that a million times. He's invalidated now. But that can send you airborne at any moment.
Yeah. Just quickly, the jokers are Cam, Iceman, Jamie Griffiths. So that's not J. Lucas, the other Jamie, and the other one is Risky Racer.
Surely you'd be looking at Cam as a favourite for the race victory then tonight, potentially.
You'd like to think, wouldn't you?
So we'll see.
Already with a race win this season. Only 1 repeat winner in the Cup Series. In fact, if you include the Kia Series, J. Luke is the only repeat winner all season across both tiers. And that's 11 races. 10 winners in 11 races, not bad.
Here's Connor. He's invalidated, but we want to give some light to his livery anyway. It is a rerun of his season 1 livery, a livery that I liked a lot, and nice to see the classic colours returning, looking as good as ever, Jacko.
Absolutely. Did you not give him a helmet award, best helmet?
I think of his helmet, livery, the whole package. I
loved in season 1.
Loved his design in general, so it was very good, but sadly another invalidated lap. Are we going to get an actual lap on the board at any point today? No.
OKK's invalid.
OKK, who's running in the RX Cartel Blue, and maybe you'll know a bit more about that than me, but
well, put it this way, I had to do a quick Google. I'm not massively into my rallycross, but
fair enough.
3 rallycross liveries tonight, all part of the RX Cartel group, which are
we've got another one
rallycross group in North America, or part of the Nitro Circus, something like that. And OKK, Ben Harrott, that's Ben Spurs, and Jake are all running their own different versions of that, but following the same livery template, just different colours.
I see. So here's Ben running a pink one then. Purple/pink, it's noted down officially, but another invalidated lap. Camu Babu was on a lap. He's the only one who's actually set one. Now he has went
very early.
Yes, and well, we'll talk about him now. He's in a squashy. Fair enough, but you're going to be in trouble unless his times are seriously glitched, because he has went and set his lap way too early on. I can't see the exact time on the screen, but he's definitely not done that at the right time. And we'll move on to Kieran. Where is he? There he is. He has kept the lap valid, and he is in the Renault R26, a car I'm sure you still love. Look at that rear wing sponsor as well. Oh, that's just perfect. Oh, don't bin it. That is a nice livery. I really like that. That rear wing detail is a small thing, but it's like the perfect sponsor for that.
Yeah, what I will say, Owen, is the template is not correct, far from in fact, but the colours are bang on, and I would argue that this is Kieran's interpretation of a throwback. So, absolutely, perfectly allowed. You don't have to replicate it exactly, and I think he's done a great job there.
Yeah, I mean, some templates don't work great, in fairness. But he's done quite well with what he has, as Kieran goes second fastest. Although, in fairness, Camu Rebel's time will have to stay, but there'll be some sort of issue after the race, possibly with it. But we'll worry about that then. Here is Deck next. Now this is a 1980s Williams Cosworth. Were they called Saudi Williams back then? So I feel
was
they were.
Saudi not the sponsorship, or the sponsor on it?
I wasn't sure if it was just Saudi Williams in general, but either way, certainly the Saudis were involved. Of course, we're going to Saudi Arabia this year, probably next season in JACKOCAR, because it won't be in the game in time for the end of this season, but we will be going there next season. So bit of a preview for what Saudi are bringing. They're bringing a little bit of green tonight to the table, and yeah, again, we like green cars. That's a green car. I like it.
This car outdates both of us, unfortunately.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Years.
Just a little bit.
Just the 15 years for me. What about you?
20, what the hell, 22 years. Well, let's hope that Deck can roll back the years, because I think this is a successful car. I feel it was. I'm trying to remember who was it. Alan Jones won the title in this car.
You'd be correct there. As he comes up round the final corner, it's Deck, the first of the Speed Boys tonight. Goes P3.
Slowest of all the times so far. Let's go see how Risky's getting on. And now this is meant to be a 2019 W10 Mercedes car. My favourite Mercedes livery of all time. Let's hope he's done it some justice.
Let's see.
Again, the template mustn't be there for it, but he's got all the right colours. Just maybe got a bit too much black on it. Still though, it's nice to look at, but it looks more like an HWA than it does a Mercedes, you know?
We'll see what the W11 looks like in a bit.
Yes, we will be showing you that one later on. Still though, it's not like I don't like livery. I think maybe just the template wasn't there for it, but still, it's gone P3. Risky?
To me, it looks closer to a 2013, 2014 Mercedes.
Yeah, he's just...
with the extra large green for the Petroleum sponsorship. Petronas, sorry.
Well, we'll see what the viewers think about it. Here is Jamie Griffiths. Now, he is in a mid-2000s Williams Montoya car, and this is one of the liveries I actually did accidentally see before. I was trying not to see these liveries before, but I did see this one. This livery template is like perfect, as fittingly the fastest lap of all time for, what was it, 14 years. That's gone fastest today. We'll see how long that stands for Jamie. But yes, into turn 1 he goes, and I like the livery. I think maybe there could have been a bit more blue on it, but I think that template's perfect for that type of car.
Yeah, very good, very good. From a successful car to a not so successful car, getting a toe off his teammate, is the 2019 Haas Owen, the Rich Energy sponsorship. William Story, very much behind this one.
Yeah,
supporting Iceman tonight. He's done a good job of it again. They all have.
In fairness, there wasn't much of a livery to copy, was there? It was a black livery with a little tiny scrape of gold on the rear, and that's exactly what Iceman has done on the top of the engine cover as he goes fastest by 0.6 of a second. So clearly that Rich Energy is powering that car along nicely indeed. Yeah,
black and gold to black and gold, but this now is a 2012 Lotus. Yeah.
Look at that, that's much. I mean, there's nothing against Iceman's livery, but he's picked a livery where there's no livery. This is a nice looking car. It's clearly a Lotus. It's a 2012 one. Maybe a bit too much gold on it actually, but you know what? It still looks really nice. We had this a few seasons ago as well, where everyone loves to go with a black and gold. Someone always gets it really nicely done. Coutinho has done that today, and he's gone
time as well.
P2. Not a bad time, mind you. We only have 7 on the board so far, and there's not too long left in the session. So we'll see if the rest of these guys can get valid times in. Here though, coming up next is the Jordan 191. Now, I feel like Pete did this livery last season, did he?
Yeah, you're spot on. Yep.
Again, not too sure the template was there for it, but you know what? He's still making it look very nice indeed. I'll be honest, maybe this is, I don't know, a controversial opinion. This was never really my favourite livery, to be honest. I know a lot of people hold it to such a high standard, but that might just be more the car design in general. But, granted, the 7-Up machine does look quite nice.
And everyone loves 7-Up.
Indeed. So, here he comes around the final corner, Pete. Let's see if he can fizz up to the top of the timing screens. No, he's
Not
gone
quite.
P3. And, I mean, it's an alright time, but we'll see where that ends up going, where the other 6 cross the line. So actually, I mean, everyone for Jamie down is, or Jamie up is guaranteed a top 10 spot now. That's sort of how this quality section's ended up. As Jordan's coming through, this is an Arrows.
Yep, early 2000s. I dare say, Owen, it looks more like the 2007 Spiker.
That's a good shout, actually. You know, that does. I'd agree with that, actually.
Thank you.
That does indeed look like a spiker. I mean, the orange arrows obviously were orange, black, and white. I mean, it's Spiker and 2017 McLaren all just sort of blend together. You'll see what I mean later on with that one. But yeah, do you know what, Jordan? He's only gone P9, but it's a nice livery. We're not sort of saying it's a bad thing. It's just a really good template. A lot of other teams have used it, and it's been very successful, or very nice looking in all 3 of them. But he's gone 9th. Let's see who's next up. I believe it's Jake, and this is going to be the last of the cartels. The yellow variety, yellow gold. And,
yeah, I can't help you with what drivers drive these machines, but Jake's driving this one.
Yeah.
I'm not just awfully clued up on RX or Rallycross. I'm sure it's very fun though. I'd like to have a go.
Nearly went invalid there, did Jake, but has kept it within the track limits. And's gone second fastest. Iceman still holding P1 as it stands. Really nice indeed.
4 to go as well. J-Luke next, and here we go. Last year's World Championship winning Mercedes, the W11, as driven by Lewis Hamilton. Purple helmet as well, Owen.
Yes, so it's clearly not a Valtteri Bottas tribute, is it? As he heads
It's not.
round. And yeah, it's black, it's got the red, it's got the purple, and it's got, of course, the green. Again, I don't think the template was there, and that kind of makes it look like an HWA, but you know what? It still looks decent. Oh dear, that'll cost him about half a second, maybe a second. And that might help Iceman's day P1, but luckily Jamie kept it on the road. Could so easily have been in the wall.
We've seen him in the wall before in qualifying. If he's not there, he's normally on the mediums. So he's going to qualify middle of the pack with this one.
Oh, he's only
P10.
10th fastest.
P10 for now as well. The 3 fastest to come.
Yes,
Arnold first.
We expect big things from Arnold most of the time, but this time he's in a 2017 McLaren. I said this before, the orange, white and black cars always tend to blend together. Not the worst thing to be saying, and you know what? It's a bit more of a red-orange, if you get what I mean, but I think that's sort of how that car was, really, so I think it does look quite nice. As he goes fastest of all.
The
2017 McLaren had a very unique shade of orange, and I always had a really... I'm trying to think of what it was like. I'm just trying to make sure where Cam is. We've got a moment for me to make my thoughts. It's like medicine, that orange. It's like when you're a kid and you have a headache or something, you get given this sweet medicine. It's like that orange. I need to try and explain better what it is, but that's the feeling I always got about that orange, and that's nailed it. It's a really weird comparison to make, but always... Yeah, a weird colour, but a nice weird colour. This is a weird one though, isn't it? Cam. He's in the pink pig 1971 Porsche Le Mans car. Has he pulled the name out of a hat, do you reckon?
I reckon so.
Well, P5 on a Joker. Might end up falling to P6. Not the worst thing in the world. And here comes Kyle in a car that I also saw before. It is a 2019 McLaren, but can he put it into P1? No, he's gone P5, so he just beats Cam, which means Arnold, shock horror, is on pole position here at Monza. I know he is only third in the championship, but like he is the fastest guy here, and it's not even a debate.
And with that, Owen, Arnold now equals Khalifa's pole record. It was always going to happen, but it has happened.
Ironically, Kyle said that the McLarens tend to go quite well around Monza, and while that's true for a 2021 spec, as our chat rightfully pointed out when he said this, this car finished 10th in 2019. It's one of its poor races that season. The other car was a wheel short in the pit lane. Oops. But he's gone P5 and Arnold's gone P1. And like I say, Cam, on the Joker, is that an opportunity to take a victory today? Overtake is not the easiest on this track, so we'll see how he gets on, but it is a big chance for him today.
See Vitinho in chat asking how he's P4. Well, because it was a solid lap. Out qualifies Kyle and Jamie.
Wasn't a million miles
Cam
away
as well.
Yeah, it wasn't a million miles away from P3 either, was it? But here's our grid today. Arnold from Iceman, good stuff from him as well. Jake, Vitinho, Kyle, Cam, Pete, Jamie, Cammy Babo, Kieran, Risky, Deck, Jamie, Jordan, Red Matt, Ben, Connor, Baza, OKK, and Yuri. And who's our jokers again?
Iceman
Yeah.
is one of them. Cam is another. Jamie G is the other, and then there's one more as well, whose name is going to escape me. But it is Risky, down in P11, so not a bad place to be.
So Iceman does have a good chance as well. I was going to mention it, but I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, he is then another big shot for the win. But we'll see how he gets on. Second on the grid. That must be one of his highest positions ever.
I can tell you if you want, because obviously I have these stats available.
Yes.
What's his name? Ben Shaw. His
don't
best ever
recall.
qualifying is second, but he's never finished higher than third in a race.
Well, this is a big chance tonight, isn't it? As long as he keeps his nose clean, there could be a real shot at least a podium tonight. You can see it is a dry session, so it will be that pretty simple dry two-stop here. You could do, the mediums for one stint and the sauce for two stints. It's just whenever you decide to do those.
And Owen, sorry to interrupt, remember there's no formation lap tonight. We're going to be straight into the race here.
That is absolutely right, so we have to work these tyres out as we head through the first lap. But we have all 5 lights, as we see everyone getting ready. There's a lot on softs, but boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing. Long run down towards turn 1. There's already a car onto the grass, and I think Jake and everyone's heading past Iceman. I think he might have missed a gear. As we head down towards turn 1, Arnold has a clear advantage, as we see Vitinho and Jake trying to fight away, and now Kyle getting involved as well. We've got some yellow flags going on there. There's a car off. I think it might be Jamie in the Mercedes. As he heads round, he's going to recover, go back to the track. Yuri's made up 5 positions as well, I've seen, but that looked to me like Iceman had genuinely forgot to shift up, because he'd had an alright launch, but then just went straight backwards.
I think he suffered from something that I suffered from a few weeks ago in TGP, where he had traction off the line, and then the game just takes the traction away from you because he started to snake up the road. And that's what cost him the positions, as he now finds himself down in P6.
Let's see the tyres then. It's only 4 of them on mediums. They are Jordan, Risky, Jamie and OKK. Jamie and OKK already have had some incidents on this lap. We'll see if they decide to pit. Biggest winners and losers. Yuri, the biggest winner. A lot of 4 positions gained. There's a car off. And another one as well. Yuri's just binned it, but there was also somebody else. Virtual safety car is out. And it was Iceman. He hasn't got a front wing now. And it's a full safety car, so he gets to pit. Can he get a set of hard compound tyres all the way to the end of the race? Because if he can, he could still have a chance at winning this thing. Because of course, he only has to do 1 stop today.
Yeah, this has worked out absolutely perfectly for him, hasn't it?
Now, they're all passing the safety car, aren't they, at the front?
Are they?
That's bizarre. I don't think that's meant to be happening.
Arnold spun! Arnold spun!
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if he's been spooked as well. Oh, and there's a crash. Kieran's binned it into the safety car. That's certainly catching people out. Now, is anyone going to pick up a cheeky puncture here? As Pete has hit the back of Kieran's retired car. I'm sure that penalty can be removed after the race. And
assuming he doesn't serve it, which he will.
Yeah, well, you have to. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? But the safety car came out, and it's now stopped.
Oh.
But that safety car was meant to pick up Arnold, who then spun all by himself. But it was meant to pick him up.
The safety car was still coming out the pit lane when Arnold was going past it. So,
well, what's the point in a delta then? Because they don't have a delta. Look, they were all able to just go past, and Iceman's only just come out of the pits now, probably wondering what on earth is going on. But
tell you what, Owen. That
That's a
safety
weird
car
situation.
is right in the shadows as well. Like, you can barely see it there.
That is a strange incident, that. I mean, I know the pit lane exit's very long, but surely the game could have just given them a delta to make sure that they would have been okay. Mind you, Kieran just drove clean into it, so that was in the corner. I don't quite know how he's managed that, but that's 2 cars out already. We didn't quite see how Yuri lost, but he is out, and Kieran, we saw him as well. Right then, Jake leads the race.
I was just going to say there was a very similar accident in. Oh wow!
Why have you done that? Not even how. Why?
There was a very similar accident in Kia Series on Tuesday where the safety car was coming out the pit lane and somebody hit it and caused a minor pile up. So clearly, JACKOCAR, Monza, and safety cars don't go.
Happened in PSGL F2 as well. Me and Jess were commentating that, and Cazil drove straight into the back of it too. Or straight into the back of another driver. I guess people just fall asleep under these safety cars, a bit like Iceman. I assume Iceman was desperately trying to catch the pack, and I suppose you can see why, considering he's 25 seconds off of it. And that safety car might set an overlap, but if it doesn't, then he would be far behind. But regardless, he's got a safety car now anyway. Or a drive-through anyway, so I mean, he's in trouble regardless. But yeah, Jake leads the race from Vitinho and Kyle and Arnold. He'll be a bit red-faced after that error, unless he got a tap. But you seem to have been watching it, so I suppose he wasn't.
Yeah, there was no tap. There's no excuses there. That's a driver error.
Now, for Iceman's blushes, he'll be hoping the safety car goes in so that penalty will be even maybe slightly justified. Well, I was trying to catch a safety car.
Well, the thing is, I mean, he can't follow the safety car in. He has to do another lap, Lewis Hamilton style from 2020.
Yeah, look at this. That safety car is down. So Iceman really just did not have a reason to be flooring it right now, and he's costing himself a chance here because he doesn't have to pit again. I guess in theory, actually, it's not that bad because a drive-through penalty isn't as long as a pit stop, and everyone's going to have to be in the pits twice anyway. And so I guess it's not the end of the world for him. But
go on, but
it still holds him back. He's effectively on a 1-stop from this point on, but everyone ahead of him is on a 2-stop from this point on. And that 1 stop for him is going to be a drive-through, which is a lesser stop because he doesn't actually stop. But still, it could have been a no stop and the rest are on 2 stops.
Yeah. I'm just looking where his rivals are. You've got Risky in P13. These are the other jokers, by the way. Obviously, Cam up in P5 and Jamie P6. So keep your eyes on those 3 and we'll monitor the progress of Iceman as we go along. I think, despite... Yeah, no, I tell you what, I put my money on Cam at this point.
Yeah, well, we said it before the race, didn't we? You don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he is a race winner now. He knows how to do it. So there shouldn't be any worries about the bottle, mind you. We've said that about Arnold many times this season, and even now, having got his first win of the season, he's still making big mistakes.
Cam comes into this race 1 point off the regular season lead.
Yeah.
With this race and Austria in 3 weeks' time left to go before we crown a regular season champion. And then, of course, it's a straight up, 7 weeks to the Championship 5.
Yeah.
What a run in that's going to be, as we include Portugal, we go to Russia for the first time, and Kota to decide a champion.
So safety car is in at the end of this lap. We've had Pete get a pound into the safety car for hitting the back of Kieran, who binned it into the safety car. Iceman, who was looking good, has now got a drive-through penalty. Might still be looking good later on, though, despite being on those hard compound tyres. Cam, highest Joker driver, but it is going to be Jake, who's going to take this restart. And let's see how we go. Now, you have to be within 5 car lengths of the car in front of you on these restarts, so that you don't get a massive run on them. And so we'll need to be looking at pretty much everyone in the field to make sure they're following. The leader can go... Jake can go 2 grid rows from the start line, so we'll look at him as well. But it all looks like this restart is seemingly going okay. It's a bit early, and I tell you what, Vitinho is asleep. Yeah, Vitinho might have been caught out by Jake going too early. I wonder if there'll be some steward inquiries as we see Kyle try and run outside, a risky manoeuvre. especially this early into the race. Did Jake go too early? Might be a bit touch and go. Coutinho might certainly think so though, as Cam gets to move up to third position. Somehow he's managed to get by Arnold and all that, and Kyle is still trying to go for the race lead. He's diving down the inside, and the McLaren tribute car leads here at Monza. Kyle, of course, the regular point season leader. Oh, that might be a safety car. Who's that? Iceman. No, that is a lot of debris. And 2 cars off. He might have had nothing to do with that accident, Iceman, because it was Baza and Connor involved. But it looks like we're not getting any form of safety car at the moment, because Jake is trying to go back past Kyle, but decides to back away. Now we get the safety car.
It is. Luckily, Kyle was far enough back from the pit lane exit now, so the safety car should pick him up. Unlike what it didn't do with Arnold.
So
Cal to third, by the way, on that restart.
Yes, said about that, passing Arnold as Coutinho fell down the field. I suppose you'd probably know better than me, since you'll have seen this perhaps in the shirts at some point. If you want to check that last restart, Jacko, and see if Jake maybe went too early, because it felt to me like he did. It has to be 2 grid rows behind the start-finish line, and that looked like he...
to clear that, it can be between the start-finish line and 2 grid rows back. It looked more like 4 or 5.
It looked like he went on the first grid spot he saw, rather than... and that's not exactly what the rule is.
He went early and still got caught out by it. That's the thing.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that you might find Coutinho having something to say about that, because it seemed to have caught him out, because he seemed to be going at the right point. Obviously, the rest behind the leader, they wouldn't get penalised for going when the leader goes, because that's the leader's decision. But I don't know, I'm just curious if Coutinho, if he were to investigate that, what stewards would actually do about it.
It's a very good question, because the times it's happened before, there's not actually been anything in the rules, and it's a new rule. So as to what the penalty would be, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head, because we've never had to award a penalty for it. But you are right, I think it would be a penalty incoming for Jake. Probably 5 seconds or something, because it's not a major bad thing that he's done. But it is still an infringement of the rules.
So no one picked up damage apart from Iceman on that restart, or at least anything that's repairable. And that means that we're still going to get no pit stops. Which I guess is good news for Cam. The longer we have for these safety cars, the better for him, I suppose, because it's less green flag laps for these leading guys and the rest of them to do their 2 stops. He only has to worry about 1 stop, you know. And he'll just hope that once the pit stop starts, then there's no more safety cars. But as long as we can go as far as possible, as Kyle, does he pick up a stage point for that? Yeah, lap 6 doesn't really matter. He'll get on lap 7 either way.
It's lap 7, isn't it? Yeah.
So he'll pick up a stage point at the end of this. But like I said, for Cam, the longer we go before the safety car comes, before the first pit stops happen, the better, because like I say, that means he will have his rivals with less laps to catch him, basically, at the end. And especially when he's already up to P3, which is a bonus for him. I don't think he maybe expected to be this high. It just makes it an even sort of, not easier, but more manageable situation. And Jamie as well. I mean, if Jamie can get some sort of restart and get up towards or past Arnold, then he's also looking strong.
Sorry, Owen, I'm just for doing some admin, which saves me doing it later.
And I'll point something else. Risky's the other one, isn't it?
Risky is the other one, yeah.
Obviously, he's sat on mediums right now, so when he makes his one and only stop, I mean, these safety cars, I guess, are helping him as well, because it sort of means that all these guys who are on sauce aren't getting a massive undercut on him, because when he goes to the sauce, they won't have made as much of a gap to him, and so he'll also be enjoying fresh softs at the end of this race, while the other Joker drivers will be on mediums, and the safety car gets ready to come in. So this is definitely a fascinating situation.
Yep. By the way, Kyle is this season's leader on most stage points, so this will just put him a little bit clearer And most stage wins of all time is Arnaud on 18. This is Kyle's 17th.
So this
Or
is
will
going to be his chance then to get a good restart. We saw how even a decent restart in terms of the general speed can still be caught out with some good slipstream. So we might run on board with Cam for this one, see what he does in in reaction to the front two, because I suppose the front two are the ones with the most work to do on these restarts.
Kyle is about the best in the league at these restarts, probably because he does them so often. But here we go.
He's gone
That's a
early
little
as
bit
well.
early again,
I
yeah.
wonder if the game just makes you go that early. I don't know. It's a weird one. But here comes Jake once again getting the slipstream. That might just be a quirk of this track, because that's happened twice now. And look at Arnaud diving out the outside, and Kyle's gone off the road. He's taken a 5-second penalty for plainly straight line in the first chicane. Cam's been overtaken by Arnaud, and there's Pete, and our game has crashed again. I don't really know. I don't really think you'd be surprised at this point that it's crashed. We shall be back in just a moment. And I'll be back in a minute.